Hi, friends, and welcome to this lesson. Now, today we are going to talk about paragraphs. Now, it's very important to be able to make great sentences and to be able to create excellent paragraphs because paragraph by paragraph, you can write a whole book. Paragraph by paragraph, you can write an essay. Paragraph by paragraph, you can write a story. You can write a report. You can write a whole novel. So everything has these building blocks, and our building blocks are words, sentences, paragraphs, and then larger pieces of prose, poetry, whatever. So let's look at this today. So, friends, uh, in this lesson and succeeding lessons, forthcoming lessons, we are going to talk about nine types of paragraphs. So there are going to be nine types of paragraphs that we are going to learn in this course. Why are we learning paragraphs now? We are learning paragraphs now because one, it is easier to start with a shorter form of writing than to start with writing something larger right from the beginning. And if we understand the nine basic types of paragraphs, then writing anything is going to become easy for us because we would be familiar with the structure of that kind of writing or expression. So that way we would be able to express ideas in the correct context. So every type of paragraph that we are going to discuss in these lessons will always have a specific purpose. Specific purpose means a it will have a goal oriented purpose. So if there is a particular paragraph that we have made, then that paragraph has to hit its target. So it's target oriented. Through the paragraph, we want to achieve some understanding in the mind of our reader or receiver. So that would be our purpose. And friends, in life, whether you are communicating or doing anything else, you must always have a very clear purpose. Being purposeful is very important in life because once your purpose is clear, your effort is going to be aimed at meeting that purpose. You're going to do everything in your capacity to go and achieve that purpose. So once the purpose is clear, once there is thought and purpose clarity in the mind is then going to put everything in order to achieve that purpose. So every type of paragraph that we are going to talk about, it's got a topic sentence. The topic sentence is the sentence at the beginning of the paragraph, which tells you what the paragraph is all about. And then it will have developmental sentences which will develop the idea of the topic or the topic itself. And then we will have the concluding part. So, friends, what is the structure of a paragraph? The structure of a paragraph is one, you have the topic sentence. That's at the beginning of the paragraph. So this is one. Then I've got development. So where I develop my topic or idea. So this happens so this we can call the intro, the beginning. This is your body. And then the third thing is the conclusion. So we have the structure here. It's a threefold structure. You start, with the topic sentence. Then you go to the development part, which is also known as the main body of the paragraph. And then in the end, we sum up everything. So it can be a 50-word paragraph. It can be a 30-word paragraph. It can be a 150-word paragraph, which would then you can call it a small passage. Everything would have a structure, and this is the structure that we have to look at every time we are doing something. So let's go ahead and watch this now. So, my dear friends, today we are going to talk about an illustrative paragraph. All right. So, before that, I would like to explain to you what an illustration is. My dear friends, an illustration is nothing but something that shows, explains, or proves a point. So, how do you do it? You do it through examples. So, examples may be thoughts and ideas, they may be data, and they may be facts and figures. So, you might be using diagrams, figures, infographics, models, some kind of animation, bar graph, pie chart, all kinds of stuff to illustrate your point, to show them clearly what you want to tell them. So that is an illustration. So giving examples, giving good examples, giving meaningful examples, that is the basis of all good writing and speaking. Good teachers, good speakers will always give you very good examples. Examples that will make the thing clear in your mind, clear before your eyes. So you show and you give very appropriate fitting examples. And you should give enough examples to get your point across. So if you see understanding is not happening, it's a little shaky, then more examples, something else, connect something, ask a question, find out more. That's when you're speaking. Now, when you're writing, if you're writing something complex, give an example, give proof, develop it in such a way person would be understanding it easily. So, writing also has its difficulties. Speaking has different difficulties, writing has different challenges. So, a good illustration will always make a point. See, it is pointless to talk or write without making a point. That's why sometimes when someone is beating around the bush, people will say, "Stop beating around the bush. Come to the point. Don't continue to circle the issue. Come to the point." So, a good illustration is not meaningless, it always makes a point. And while making a point, it gives detailed and specific examples which are fitting, which are relevant, which are appropriate, which make your picture clear. So that is the power of illustrations. That is the power of examples. All right. And you give enough examples to put the point across. So this is something that you have to do. And I'm going to demonstrate that when we look at the paragraph. So my dear friends, this is our paragraph for the day. I told you topic sentence is in white, developmental part or the main body is in yellow, and the conclusion is in green. Now let's look at this beautiful paragraph. I'm going to read it out to you and then we'll discuss a little more. So, although they don't consider it stealing, many people regularly take things from their jobs. What does this mean? If they're in office, they won't call it stealing, but they take things from their office, from their job. So they'll take, it may be a stapler, it may be a pen, it may be a pad, it may be these days, it may be a sanitizer. So it's there in your office, it's on your table, and you're using it and you take it home. So this may happen. The most common, so the topic sentence is, although they don't consider it stealing, many people regularly take things from their jobs. So, friends, the topic sentence is supposed to tell us what will be talked about in the paragraph. So, this sentence is a good topic sentence because it tells us that although they don't consider it stealing, so people who take things from office, take things from their jobs, don't consider it stealing and regularly take something from there. So that's the meaning that is conveyed. Excellent topic sentence. It's given us the what to look forward to. So it's given us the subject or the topic that will be talked about in this paragraph. Let's come to the body. The most common items to disappear are pens and pencils that employees almost unconsciously stuff into their purses and pockets. Over time, they may accumulate a lot of them. So, in your house, you may have accumulated a lot of pens and pencils which has come from your office. Okay. Another big item is all kinds of paper. All kinds of paper. Pads of lined paper, little notepads, and file folders. So, a lot of pads and file folders and little pads and such knickknacks will find their way into your home. Finally, one of the most significant ways people steal from their employers is by taking home samples of products the company makes. So, supposing I'm working for a company that makes hand sanitizers. So, the company makes samples which I'm giving out in the market to doctors, to chemists, to general stores where they will display them and I'm giving them samples so they'll try out, they'll make people try out and they'll say, okay, buy this please. They'll start stocking. So these samples that I have, I take home. My wife says, sanitizer is over, can you get? Oh, I'll get from office. I've got enough samples. Oh, I've got them in my car. Please take out the samples that are lying in my car. So I'm in sales and I have a lot of samples. I pass on to my friends, to my family, to my neighbor. So these are samples coming from my company, believe me. So finally, one of the most significant ways people steal from their employers is by taking home samples of products the company makes. So the company products are taken away. Employees think they are entitled to these products and even give them to friends. What is entitlement? Entitlement means it is their right to take them and even to give them. All right. So now we come to the conclusion, my dear friends. These examples may not seem like stealing, but the results are the same. So these examples may not seem like stealing. You may say, oh, it's taken one sample. That's okay. They're making samples to give away. So these examples may not seem like stealing, but the results are the same, my dear friends. The results are the same. Extra cost to the company, which may result in lower pay raises. Why extra cost to the company? Because the company spends money on samples. The company spends money on stationery. If I'm going to bring it here, they have to replace it. If I'm going to take it and give it to my people who are not going to become customers, they're going to make more samples. So cost is increasing every day. Companies going into losses because of me, because this is not meant for my home use. This is meant for the market, to develop my sales in the market, to develop the market. This is meant for office use. I cannot keep bringing this home and getting more in the office, additional cost to the company. So this way, my company is spending more on these items. It's a hidden kind of an expense. Nobody is taking this into account, but this is going into, losses, and lower pay raises may happen because the cost is there somewhere. It may not be accounted for in that manner. So, my dear friends, they have taken up a very common thing and illustrated very, very nicely how this thing may lead to lower pay raises because of losses to the company. So, it's a very beautifully illustrated paragraph. Now, my dear friends, I want you to write a paragraph today which illustrates something. Supposing you are talking about carelessness about health. So you should be able to get a topic sentence, you should be able to get a body, what kind of carelessness you see in people, and what could be the consequences. So if you are able to make a paragraph on carelessness in food habits, carelessness in healthy living, anything, you pick up something and try and create an illustrative paragraph. If you create that illustrative paragraph and if you want me to have a look at it, mail it to me in the form of a Word file. So, first think what your purpose is, what do you want to convey to your reader, and once you have thought, then create the paragraph using the structure that I've told you about. Okay, so use this structure: introduction, body, where you develop it, so topic, sentence, body, and then conclude. You may use 50 to 70 words in this paragraph and try to create one, because this is going to help you start writing well. And in the coming lessons, we are going to talk about many different kinds of paragraphs. And by the end of this course, you're going to learn to write very, very well. So, my dear friends, even if you have questions, always feel free to mail them to me. So thank you very much for watching this lesson. I am going to see you in the next. Until then, all the best.